the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on your news at noon, a battle with cancer, the latest on the health of a Maryland congressman, why he says he's not worried about his future on the Hill. Plus, 4-day disaster, how Southwest Airlines and its meltdown are evolving as cancellations continue to pile up this afternoon. Good Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Randy Bass in for Mark Hall. We start with your forecast on this Thursday. DC News Now meteorologist Damon Matson is here with a look at the last few days of 2022 into 2023. Damon, I can't believe the end of the year is already here.
I'm right there with you. Hard to believe, but hey, we're ending this year on quite an amazing note. That sunshine, it is plentiful again out there, and those temperatures, they are still on the rise. How much higher are they going to go as we wrap up this year of 2022? We'll let you know in just a bit.
All right, turning to Capitol Hill this afternoon, Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin saying in a statement he's been diagnosed with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. That's a serious form of white blood cell cancer. The good news, though, the condition is curable, and most people in his situation receive an excellent prognosis after 4 months of treatment. That's according to a statement from the congressman. That statement continued with the benefit of early detection and fine doctors, the help of my extraordinary staff, the love of my wife Sarah and our daughters and sons-in-law, family and friends, and the support of my beloved constituents and colleagues in the House. I plan to get through this, and in the meantime, to keep making progress every day in Congress for American democracy. He also voiced support for other families managing cancer and illness this holiday season. He thanked the doctors, nurses, and medical personnel who provide comfort and hope to cancer patients. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan sending out his support to the Raskin family, expressing relief about doctors' optimism for his prognosis. Hogan himself is the survivor of an aggressive cancer battle several years ago. And the Southwest Airlines meltdown stretching now into a 4th day. The company has already canceled over 2,000 flights scheduled to depart today, totaling more than 14,000 canceled flights since Friday. The Biden administration and Congress say they plan to hold the airline accountable. Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki explains.
What started as winter weather disruptions quickly turned into a complete operational failure for Southwest Airlines, who is to blame for the more than 15,000 flight cancellations since Christmas.
We had a lot of things happen at one time.
Corliss King, a flight attendant and vice president of the union that represents flight attendants for Southwest, says the winter storm highlighted the company's internal problems.
And what that did was expose the real underlying issue, which is our challenges in our technology, our challenges in our processes and systems, and our inability to quickly recover like we should when the unexpected happens.
According to tracking service FlightAware, Southwest has canceled more than 2,300 flights on Thursday. The airlines warned that it would continue canceling flights until it could get its operations back on track.
We've never seen anything like this at any airline ever.
Captain Casey Murray is the president of the Southwest Airlines Pilots Association. He says they have pressured Southwest for years to update decades-old computer software and scheduling systems.
This should never have happened.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg agrees and vowed to not only hold Southwest accountable, but help the hundreds of thousands of stranded passengers get to their destinations.
Not just making sure that anybody whose flight is canceled can get a prompt cash refund, but also making sure that your meals, your hotels, your ground transportation are covered.
That was Anna Warnicki reporting. And here at home in the DMV, while all other U.S. airlines have recovered from last week's winter storm, one has not, leading to what some analysts are calling the worst flight cancellation breakdown ever. DC News Now's Joseph Olma has the latest at BWI.
Good day from BWI Airport, where we are tracking day 4 of a Southwest Airlines meltdown, not just here at this airport, but nationwide. Over 2,000 flights canceled yet again today. Back here at BWI, over 190 flights canceled in and out of this airport. You know, roughly 20 airlines operate flights daily out of this airport, but only one of those 20 is responsible for all of the cancellations at BWI today, and that is Southwest Airlines. You see that line right there behind me? It keeps on fluctuating throughout the day. Passengers coming here trying to get their bags. Some passengers telling me it's been upwards of a week just to get their bag, and they don't have any clothes.
Like, I had to tell my mom, hey, I'm going to borrow your clothes. because we don't have any clothes, we don't have time to pack up. They chipped in all of their money just to get us over here.
So bottom line here, guys, if you are part of this Southwest Airlines chaos, your best bet is to go to their website. They have a trip advisory page set up specifically for the meltdown that they're dealing with right now. Go there, make a plan. Don't come to the airport because in a lot of cases you're going to be turned right back around. Coming up tonight on DC News Now at 5 p.m., we're going to be talking with more and more passengers as the hunt for luggage continues. I'm Joseph Omo reporting at BWI.
All right, Joe, thanks. New at noon, the United States Postal Inspection Service is offering a big reward for details on a robbery in Silver Spring. The man on your screen is the suspect they're looking for today. The USPS says the suspect robbed a letter carrier along East-West Highway yesterday morning. They're offering $50,000 for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. Continuing our coverage this afternoon of the havoc caused by last week's big freeze, the travel ban in Buffalo, New York has been lifted, but many residents are still being urged not to drive unless it's absolutely necessary. This comes after the New York National Guard began going door to door searching for more victims. Right now, the death toll stands at more than 36 people, making it the deadliest storm to sweep through Buffalo since 1977. That death toll includes those trapped in their cars during the freeze. And new details about a barricade situation in Herndon, Virginia yesterday and another barricade situation in St. Mary's County, Maryland. First, in Herndon, Virginia, that situation was peacefully resolved after about 12 hours. This according to police. Paul Graves is facing several felony charges in connection with the incident. And in St. Mary's County, Maryland, police say a man barricaded himself inside his home with his wife and 3 children after firing a gun in the air. They say Mark Buckler surrendered after an hour-long standoff. No one was injured there. He also faces several charges. And developing now in Frederick County, Maryland, an 18-year-old active duty Marine was arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. Deputies say a search warrant was served at Quincoke's home near Meadow Lane and Rock Creek Drive yesterday morning. The Frederick County Sheriff's Office says internet tips led them to him. Staying in Frederick, Maryland this afternoon, the number of adults placed in jail or in prison is on the rise. Our Michaela Newton looked into one organization in Frederick that's making it a little easier for families to cope.
According to Maryland's Governor's Office for Children, approximately 90,000 children in the state have a parent on parole, probation, or in jail or prison. COIP is an organization that helps some of those children and parents in Frederick County through events like reading to kids and activities at the Frederick County Jail. One of them was John Blaskowski. He has 11 kids. He said when he went away, he knew something had to change.
When you're incarcerating your children away from you, it is really, really hard for your, especially younger kids, to be able to connect why you're not there. They come see you and they see you through glass. You know, when they see you through glass, they don't understand why they can't come across and touch you.
After spending about 22 months at the Frederick County Detention Center, John said this organization helped him rebuild his relationship with his children. Now he's giving back to the same group that helped him by teaching a parenting class. The class he now teaches is a 10-week program.
You got to start small, simple questions. You can't just jump right back into the relationship because the child won't trust you yet. So you got to build that trust back up and rebuild those bridges you might have burnt down.
Sherry Ostro-Scher is COIP's founder. She says the work John does with the organization is personal to her.
I was working with lots of different groups, foster care, people new to the country, grandparents raising kids, and I knew there was no voice for children who had had an incarcerated parent. And I had an incarcerated parent, and it made me think it was important that there be a voice for these children.
And John says it isn't easy, but he encourages parents in the same situation to take baby steps.
It was a hard thing because I was pulled away from my children. I didn't think I was ever going to reconnect with my children. And now I have a better relationship with my children. I can actually have real conversations with my children, my older ones, younger ones.
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Michaela Newton.
All right, Michaela, thank you. New this afternoon, the January 6th Investigation Committee has withdrawn the subpoena issued to former President Donald Trump. This, according to the New York Times. The committee issued the subpoena back in October, directing Trump to hand over phone calls, text messages, and emails related to his attempt to invalidate the results of the 2020 election leading up to January 6th. Trump then sued to block the order soon after, making it unlikely he would ever have to testify. The panel is set to dissolve next week.